we are also having major transits this year, starting with March, that will act as a catalyst for the rest of the year. Something major big happening in health industry. This is the year where we will have history repeating itself. I also see assassination. With all the chaos that's going on, there could be a warlike situation. Where it comes to Trump finishing the term, I do see a forced departure. To start with, Rahul Gandhi may get married this year. Hi everyone, welcome to Aurora Hotels. So let's dive into the global predictions for 2025. 2025 isn't just another year, it's a turning point. It's a year of karmic shifts, power struggles, and massive transformations. So let's break it all down. We are also having major transits this year, starting with March, that will act as a catalyst for the rest of the year. In March, we have Saturn conjuncting Sun in Pisces, which means reality checks and karmic shifts. Venus retrogrades in Pisces, triggering uncertainty in global markets. Nations may need to renegotiate treaties or revisit diplomatic ties. I think we've already got a hint with US and Ukraine meet. There's also a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse happening in March, which will indicate big workforce and job market changes and health industry advancements. Something major big happening in health industry in terms of innovation. So March is a catalyst for the rest of the year. The world is at a tipping point and this energy is only intensifying. From tarot perspective, it's a year of the Hermit, the Moon and the Tower. 2025 adds up to 9. Hermit and Moon are 9 numbers. And since Mars is the ruling sign for number 9, we have also taken Tower, representing the energies for 2025. It's going to be a year of isolation. It's going to be a year of strategic withdrawals. It's going to be a year where countries and individuals will pull inwards, probably would be more siloed in their approach. 2025 carries the energies of the Moon as well, which means power moves behind the scenes, which could indicate hidden conflicts, secret negotiations, and a lot of behind-the-scenes strategies by corporates, governments, and those in authority positions. So March is full of things happening in the background. Expect some surprise announcements later this year that were actually planned months in advance. So there will be hidden truths, whether political, financial, or personal, will come to surface. There's going to be lack of transparency, and this is one year where citizens may struggle to trust their governments as uncertainty prevails. Everything is fluff and probably the lowest level of political dramas we will ever see. So apart from the macro perspective, I think it will also impact at a micro level. People may struggle finding the right direction and they may just feel that they are walking in a fog. So it's going to be an extremely volatile, confusing, driven by fear kind of a year for a lot of people. Since we have the Tower energy in 2025, I would say the governments need to be careful about 2 things. One is terror attacks. And second, there could be more accidents where it comes to the means of transportation. We have already seen the airplane crashes early this year. I also see some kind of a disruption in supply chain. Let's move to politics and global conflicts. This is going to be an year when countries will literally shut doors on each other. Global politics will be at a volatile place and many leaders won't see eye to eye. A year full of chaos and conflict with a lot of leadership changes coming in. Rather, there could be major political shifts. Governments could fall, alliances may break, or unexpected leaders could rise. A little trivia here, 1980 is when Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, came back to power and had a second innings. And 1980 happens to be a hermit year summing up to 9. But since 2025 also carries the energy of moon, there could be some major revelation, some secret leaking out, some intelligence report getting leaked that could shake the global affairs. I also see some conflict where it comes to Panama, which could lead to some distress. Political rivalries, political struggles, or betrayals on an international scale could dominate headlines. This may involve broken alliances or competitive battles in AI, space, or military power. So, conflict and division would escalate. This is the year where we will have history repeating itself. So, there could be some problem resurfacing due to some past mistake by some government, which could hit us back. There's going to be rise in oligarchs. Also, it's a year where we have solar eclipse in Aries, and which could mean there's going to be a major political event. It could also indicate a major political shift. I also see assassination of a famous person. It could be a political leader or it could be a huge celebrity. And there could be a new leader emerging after this chaos. By end of the year, there could also be some kind of a movement that would inspire hope, and that would be really defining moment for the years to come. And when we talk global conflict, we cannot not mention war. With all the chaos that's going on, there could be a warlike situation, but it would not escalate into a war. There could be a resolution and truce between Russia and Ukraine. Where it comes to Israel and Palestine, support from other countries is going to be withdrawn. There could be a temporary halt in the war, but the issue is far from being resolved. The Middle East will play a huge role in facilitating peace. Where it comes to China and Taiwan, Taiwan has a newly elected president back in 2024, and his leadership is going to be a stepping stone where it comes to changing the course of this conflict in the long run. Taiwan will have a strong hold in the conversations with China. So while there will be discomfort between the two countries in 2025, nothing major is going to strike. India and Pakistan could revive their relationship, though at China front, I would say India will be on tenterhooks because there could be some escalation of some tension happening here. So a lot of people ask me, will this year lead to a third world war? I would say there's going to be definitely a rise in narcissistic leadership, but I don't see an escalation to a third world war yet. I would also be putting specific country highlights later in the video, so do check that as well. Now let's talk about the world economy. Again, there could be some kind of a problem which could resurface. So I would not be really surprised if it could be a beginning of a recession. Countries may have to restructure their economies, with some facing recessions or inflation concerns. Some economic crises may resurface, so it could mean collapse of some big bank or a financial institute. Some past loopholes in the government policies would be hitting us back. Stock market. This year, we will see many companies being delisted from the stock exchange. Crypto will have new set of policies, making it more robust and secure. So there is some kind of regulation helping the sector. If we talk about which country could be an emerging power, I would say this year is for African countries. Africa is looking outward, building strong global trade, leveling up their tech and upgrading their infrastructure. So they are making big moves to become a major player on the world stage. And we would not be surprised if in years to come, Africa would be a very strong emerging power. Let's come to the corporate sector. This year is going to be an era of skill development, even to an extent of people going back to core skills, because we will have many budding small businesses coming in. So pseudo intellectualism will definitely take a backseat. Since it's a year of hermit, a lot of people would also be taking early retirements. Work-life balance will be on execution, so debate is over. I also see some of the people who have been on a sabbatical starting their second innings. This year is also going to be an year where corporate loyalty is going to be dead. So there could be mass exits from traditional corporate jobs, and people would chase more flexibility, meaning of life, and financial independence. I think this is also going to be a year where there's going to be a collapse of traditional industries or traditional corporate mindset. And this shift will create new opportunities in emerging fields and forward-thinking industries. So those who adapt, reskill, and embrace the change will come out on top. This year, we will also see fierce competition between companies, aggressive market battles, and internal power struggles. Some of the biggest names in the industry may fall from grace. Tech startups, financial firms, and major corporations will see rapid crashes due to poor leadership choices and overpromising the investors. So there could also be some problem where it comes to the big threes. I will not name the firms, but I will give you guys a hint. Where it comes to a big search firm, there could be leadership shifts, and the company may struggle due to poor strategic decisions. Where it comes to the e-com giant, it could face some government scrutiny. There could be supply chain struggles, and again, there could be shifts in the leadership. And the third one, which also runs a foundation, may need to defend its position against lawsuits and antitrust cases. There could also be some kind of a big scam coming up in healthcare industry. Climate and natural disasters. This year is going to be more about discoveries, wherein we could come across some alarming changes in our planet. There is a solar eclipse in Aries, and this year could mean strong solar flares. This year could also be a year where humanity will be creating some kind of a milestone where it comes to space discoveries or some kind of a space project. I also see this year we could have really hot summers because of progressive heat waves. There could be some kind of a disruption happening in an unexpected faraway region. We could also come across a lesser known environmental issue that could gain global attention. Weather patterns will shift, bringing water crisis, could be floods, storms, drought, to areas that usually don't experience them. Just highlighting a few countries. US may have serious climate issue and could face serious economic damage. Canada could have water-related issue and agricultural crisis. India will have more environmental hazards due to lack of infrastructure and bureaucracy. Japan this year could face a crisis leading to evacuation of an area. Australia may have serious resource issues, but it's going to be one country which will take it really seriously and work towards stricter environmental policies. When it comes to an influencer scam, some very prolific influencer close to authorities or someone who is also a self-proclaimed guru will see a fall. May happen in next 3 months. Government will be forced to take an action as some major scandal could break related to this person. So this person could not necessarily be a YouTuber or a digital influencer, but he could also be a person who is of influence. And if we really sum it up and talk about the vibe this year is going to have, I see it's going to really impact the common man. Because the common man will really feel the heat with rise in bureaucracy. there's going to be a sense of global dissatisfaction. People are going to be really frustrated with leadership, the economy, or lack of progress. There may be growing disinterest in traditional systems, leading to protests, disengagement. Let's see country-wise highlight. Trump as a leader. So once reliable partnerships may break down, leaving him feeling very isolated. Because let's not forget, we do have a very strong hermit and tower energy over here. People within his inner circle may distance themselves, possibly due to legal, political, or personal conflicts. He may also struggle to regain the same level of control where it comes to international relations, because his tactics and his moves may be viewed as manipulative. Probably there's too much of arm twisting, lack of diplomacy, I would say, and super controversial decisions. Where it comes to Trump finishing the term, I do see a forced departure or a complete shift in his political path. There could be a lot of legal or political pressure on him. US economy in 2025, I would say expect sudden economic shock. This could be market crashes, policy shifts, or financial instability, shaking up the system. Some industries or institutions may collapse or face serious restructuring. Where it comes to public sentiment, I do see people moving out of US because they would lose faith in leadership. UK in 2025, royal family, there could be health concerns. A major shake-up or a scandal or a sudden event could rock the royal family. Some kind of restructuring could happen, but only for better. It's going to be a beginning of a different era for the royals. I think the change is going to be very good because they would try to be more approachable and more savvy to reach out to the new generation. I also feel Prince Harry may join UK politics. Where it comes to Meghan and Harry, there could be a possible media backlash and they may struggle to control their narrative. Between Meghan and Harry, one of them may find new love. UK politics in 2025. Unlike the turbulence of previous years, 2025 looks like a more stable and optimistic period for UK. While challenges will still exist, there will be strong leadership, public support, and steady progress in 2025. Relationship between UK and EU will be like the lost lovers, still playing the blame game. Some unresolved issues from Brexit or trade agreements may cause some friction. There could be some kind of an environmental disaster, largely due to carelessness of the government, because people or the government may ignore the warning signs. Prime Minister Modi. An era of isolation begins for Mr. Modi. Modi may feel politically isolated or face a loss of strong support. There could be a growing divide between him and key allies, or it could actually be a growing divide between him and his perception in public. I also feel a senior BJP leader leaving the party due to some unfortunate circumstances. 2025 is also going to highlight a shift in his leadership style. Ruling Party of India. It could be a tough year for the ruling party. Key leaders stepping away, internal changes, or a need to leave behind outdated policies. And if we talk about the opposition, I think it's going to be a wake-up call for the opposition. They will face a big decision where it comes to leadership, alliances, and strategies. This could indicate realignment, possibly new leadership. Also, they could get some serious backing where it comes to party funds. So 2025 looks like a breakthrough year. Congress and Rahul Gandhi. To start with, Rahul Gandhi may get married this year. And Rahul Gandhi may gain significant visibility, credibility, and recognition. Indian corporates in 2025. I see some hostile takeover where it comes to some bank. Also, we could see another case like Vijay Mallya, where someone is running without clearing debts. If we talk about public sentiment, I would say the mood is going to be fairly volatile. There are going to be more protests. There's going to be lack of patience in the society at large, with overworked citizens, rising stress levels, or frustration with the slow progress. It's going to be a time when India really focuses on mental health. So overall, India's general mood in 2025 will be tense, restless, and unpredictable, with major shakeups and public frustration. I would say India should also be very careful of any kind of industrial disaster. Canada's economy in 2025 will go through a major transition. There could be short-term disruptions, but it would lead to long-term restructuring and growth. A year of economic revolution for Canada. Russia. There could be efforts to repair relationships either domestically or internationally. It could indicate strategic reconciliations or attempt to soften tensions. So that's the video, guys. If you have more questions that I could answer for 2025, please do put it in the comment box below. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for more monthly updates and more readings.